What would you say to those who are just kind of overly critiquing the film at this point? You've worked so hard on it.
I'm getting on across. Hold on. Here. Yeah, hold on.
All right. Congrats, Rachel.
Hey, Rach. Yes? Those shoes.
But these guys at Disney, they're not that bright, they're not that smart, and we see that because they can't come up with any new IP.
I think this girl does not deserve a feature-length film, but rather she deserves to be in a padded cell.
Months and really over a year now, we've been talking about Rachel Zegler and the upcoming Snow White disaster.
I really hope her career is pretty much over. I'd be thrilled to see that. I can't imagine. I mean, Christian, you tell me.
Snow Wokes, you thought you knew what you were doing here.
Well, we all basically knew that Snow White was going to be a massive failure at the box office because of Rachel Zegler's controversial statements.
Rachel Zegler has vanished without a trace. And no, it's not for some new blockbuster role. She has fled to Dubai, and it's not for the sun or the shopping malls. She's trying to dodge the storm of backlash that's been following her ever since she stepped into the iconic, and let's be real, cursed role of Snow White.
How does it feel to finally have it come out?
Feels wonderful.
Feels wonderful.
The drama began with the Snow White remake. If you've been following, you already know this isn't just about a princess in a red dress. It's been an ongoing nightmare for Rachel. First, the remake itself was met with outrage, with fans already skeptical about Disney's latest attempt at woke casting. But Rachel made it worse. Remember those interviews where she dropped diva vibes and said things that made everyone's eyes roll, calling out the original Snow White as weird, trashing the prince, and making comments that had fans shaking their heads. The backlash wasn't just on Twitter, it was everywhere. Instead of applause, she got booed out of her own fairy tale.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird. So we didn't do that this time.
Where's Rachel hiding out? Word around town is Disney's not exactly thrilled with her behavior. Sources say the execs were already side-eyeing her after the Snow White fiasco. But the drama didn't stop there. Rumors are swirling that Disney's even looking at pulling her bonus or enforcing serious morality clauses in her contract. But just as the whispers of a crisis meeting started circulating, Rachel pulled a full-on vanishing act. Poof, gone. And just when the heat's getting turned up, where does she go? Dubai? The timing couldn't be more obvious. It's not just an escape from the paparazzi. This is her escape from the mess she's made of her career.
Hey, Rach.
Yes?
Those shoes.
Dogs out at LAX.
Her team is calling it a reset. But let's be real. That's PR speak for I'm running and I need to lay low for a while. This isn't about taking a vacation. It's about ducking out while the fallout heats up. Meanwhile, Disney is scrambling to pick up the pieces. The potential loss from Snow White? $250 million. And insiders are saying Disney's already looking for ways to claw back some of that money. Imagine this. You sign on to play a Disney princess, thinking you're walking into the fairy tale life, and instead, you're left holding the bag for the biggest flop in Disney's history.
Snow White has dropped in theaters, and it only made $43 million. This is a movie that cost something like $250 million to make, and globally, it made like $90 million. So internationally, domestically, running about equal. So high 80s is what it made globally over the weekend.
Let's talk about that press tour, because that was a whole mess in itself. Rachel could have gotten a warm welcome from fans, but instead she delivered a full-on disaster. From calling the prince a stalker to claiming the original Snow White was weird, it was like watching someone roast their own career on a silver platter. Fans were not happy. And you know, Disney execs were sitting there absolutely cringing. But it wasn't just the interviews. Oh no, it got worse. The internet dug up some seriously spicy old tweets where Rachel dragged Trump supporters, and let's just say, the backlash was instant. This wasn't just another oops moment. This was a full-on PR nightmare. You can't just delete those tweets and move on. The internet does not forget, and neither do the fans.
May Trump supporters and Trump himself never know.
Follow your governors, hold them accountable. Local government is where we will make real change. This is not the end ever. I will love you through these 4 years as best I can. F Donald Trump. Yeah.
So, what does she do in the face of all this chaos? She leaves the country, It's like a game of hide and seek, and Rachel's decided Dubai is the safest place to hide. The move was so sudden and abrupt that some fans were convinced she was just throwing in the towel, waving the white flag. Yeah, I'm done here. The internet exploded with speculation, dissecting every detail of her sudden exit. Was it a strategic move, or was she just running away from the mess she created?
Zegler is a leftist fruitcake, and she is, but she's also just a spoiled, entitled, narcissistic brat who was perfectly willing, because she's not stupid. Well, she might be stupid, but she's not so dumb that she didn't realize that by, for example, coming out and saying that all Trump supporters deserve to suffer, she's smart enough to know that, of course, that's going to upset a large portion of the potential audience for this project that I'm on. But she knew that, and she didn't care because she has this mentality, she's not the only one, that, hey, the only thing that matters is how I feel.
Then, of course, came the apology. But did it feel real? Not really. It felt like a carefully crafted PR statement handed to her by Disney's lawyers. You know the type. I'm deeply sorry for my actions. I've learned and grown, and I look forward to moving on with a fresh perspective. It was the classic, we've got damage control to do apology. Fans weren't buying it. Everyone could see it was more about saving face than actually owning up to her actions. It wasn't genuine, and it didn't feel like a real apology. It felt like an attempt to clean up the mess and move on, but the damage had already been done.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her.
Oh my God.
And I can only hope.
What does that mean?
That despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Now, the question on everyone's mind, is Rachel just running from the fallout, or is there something bigger happening behind the scenes? Disney might be hoping for a redemption arc, but honestly, who knows if that'll ever happen? At this point, the drama's only getting hotter, and we're all just sitting back, popcorn in hand, watching this celebrity train wreck unfold in real time. The one thing we do know for sure, the Snow White remake is officially a disaster, and Rachel's role in it is just one big, juicy mess. Whether or not she can recover from this is up for debate, but right now, it's looking like she's in full-on damage control mode.
So many people were upset about Rachel Zegler's comments and about the direction that Disney wanted to take this in. And very predictably, just as so many of us could see coming a mile away, this movie ended up being a nightmare.
What's your take on all of this? Is she avoiding the fallout, or is there more going on that we don't know about? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more spicy celeb drama, because trust me, this story is far from over.